Hello, everyone. Welcome to Bangkok, Thailand. The final day of coverage here, day number 3 on week number 3 in the ISU Junior Grand Prix. I'm Ted Barton. Mark Hanratty will be joining us from his studio in Nottingham. Now, we talked about the men's event early on. Before the short program, we thought the favorite would be Rio Nakata, and he may still will be. He's armed with 3 quad jumps coming into the free program. But in first place, from New Zealand, Yanhao Li. What a great year he's had so far. He won the Cranberry Open. He won the very first medal for New Zealand on the Junior Grand Prix last season right here in Bangkok, and he sits in first place by 6 points. This men's free program is going to be outstanding, and it begins right now. Welcome, everyone, to Bangkok, Thailand, the last day of coverage here, week number 3. We move on to Ankara, Turkey. Tonight, actually, I leave, and Mark will be broadcasting from home as we do a flyover of the facility. It's a mall here with a rink inside as well. And such a busy streets around here. So interesting. Such a completely different culture, no question. As we come in live inside the building, Mark, the dance, that was fun talking with Kathy, eh? As we take a look at the judges for the event.
Yeah, so great to hear from Kathy, and also so great to hear from another person who obviously is just as passionate about the sport. And when we spoke with Kathy, like we did with Jason and Caitlin, you could sense that skating is very much in their soul and in their being, and very much the essence of who they are. And I think that's something that we feel as well.
And I'm really happy that they said, we love this. We'd love to come back, because it adds so much to the commentary and to the coverage. And so I think from that perspective, it's been successful in regard to their wish to continue to participate. And there'll be others too. We have Chris Moore Towers, Canadian Olympian in pair skating. She'll be joining us next week in Turkey. And then Sarah Hurtada, I think, right in Gdansk with dance. Yeah, so
and I think it's really cool, because although you and I both have competed at elite level, these contributors have competed much more recently, and dare I say, speaking on my background, was more successfully. And hopefully when the skaters then hear that from skaters that they can easily look up, it's going to only serve to reaffirm probably what the coaches say, and they've heard it from a great source. Well,
we have sort of, not decades, I would say many decades of difference here. I'm the fossil that we used to skate in the caveman days with 6.0 chiseled out of stone. You, in the 80s, wait a minute, 80s or 90s? When did you skate?
No, I did. Last competition was 2010 Worlds.
Okay, you're significantly younger. And then, of course, Kathy and Caitlin, in 2018 and the 2000s. So we bring a whole range of ages and experiences and history in the sport.
Yeah, and I think like the Unite thing, the sport's obviously been through such transformation in regards to the system, and therefore what the skaters have to do, and that's ever ongoing, because we're acknowledging obviously the changes to the criteria for certain aspects of the skaters programs this year, but we're all, no matter what the changes, no matter what the criteria, we still love skating.
No question about that. We had some questions come in here and some comments. One was, what makes the death bar, no, we're not watching the Periscope, but what makes the death bar so difficult? We rarely see a woman fail to hold their posture, but often, especially in juniors, the man stands up after only one rotation. Do they plan to achieve a level 1 as part of their program content, or do they cut it short based on the day's performance? Well, actually, it's an interesting element because you both are going in on different curves, and you want the pressure, you want the girl to be pulling away from you on a different curve, and you're pulling back in and she's following you but resisting. So there's so much pressure there that speed will pick up as soon as the man puts the pick in the ice and starts to pivot, that that the girl feels there's lots of force, and so she can go down lower and stay down lower for 2 or 3 revolutions. But in juniors particularly, those curves are not really at a level of a senior. The speed is not the same level as a senior, so that's why you see generally 1 revolution or maybe 2 in some of the best teams, 2 or 3 in juniors. So it is a very difficult element, although it looks beautiful, and it doesn't look like it's called Death Spiral. It does have its challenges on the curves for the entry of the man and the woman. But good question.
And I think this year probably where it's even more obvious is because in the junior pro short program they're having to use the back outside edge. That's the mandatory edge, and that's so much more difficult than the forward inside edge. And so we're seeing teams, we certainly saw teams in the first 2 junior Grand Prix assignments struggling to get multiple rotations.
That's true, and I'm sure that Christian will talk more about that next week. Now this one, I appreciate the comments about the deep knees, including the ankles. I've been listening to your commentary for a few years, but last year I finally got the deep knee comments as being related to the feeling in the ankles. Would you do a slow motion of the skaters with really great stroking technique to describe what they are doing? I have a general understanding of body mechanics. Are you instructing me to take this super slow motion one? Okay. No, but yeah, we haven't done the dance. We've already done the dance. We can't do that. We'll have to do that next week. But it's a good point. We can do this slow motion on that. Yeah.
I think that's probably something that is really hard, the untrained eye, and even to be fair, the trained eye, because I think for so many skaters, their coaches will say, oh, bend your knees more. It's a guaranteed fail-safe thing for a coach to say to the student, you need to bend your knees more for better skating. But sometimes when you hear something so repeatedly, you lose the context of the importance. And also for the viewer, it's hard to see the depth of a knee bend and the significant impact.
And remember, a coach coaches by words, a skater skates by feel. And so if they feel they're bending their knees because they've bent a millimeter more, but that's not what the coach wants. He wants a lot more. Then there's a disparity between the understanding of how much that skater needs to do what the coach is asking. And so this is always one of the frustrating parts for a skater, because I want you to go faster. Yeah, I'm going fast. No, I want you to go faster, so they go a little faster. Yes, you did a little faster, but not fast enough. Well, it feels pretty fast to me, So.
And I think for the skaters, part of the reason they won't bend their knees and ankles as much is because, consciously or not, it's going to make their legs burn much more. So then they're probably going to have self-preservation.
Good point.
And then not go deep into the knees.
Good point. Okay, here we go. The men's free program. 4 groups. First group will be a little weaker, of course. Not as much experience and time on the ice or facilities. But they skate with the same amount of passion. Go ahead, Mark.
And the first skater in the men's event, Fan Yu Tan, was initially going to work novice standard requirements, but then the federation asked him or encouraged him to do juniors, and thus he's participating in the Junior Grand Prix.
Adrenaline running through my veins and my skeleton. When you say my name and the high, no, it never goes away. Like jumping out of airplanes, swimming with the sharks. The existential feeling when you're standing at the stars. There's a hurricane in my head, but the light in my heart makes it worth it. Yeah, I still get nervous when you walk. you don't know that you're beautiful. Try on every dress that you own. You will find in my eyes a half hour ago. And this evening I'm holding the feeling down. I never wanna leave your arms
Phan Yu Tan, representing Malaysia, completes his free skate at the start of this men's event. And this skater, as I mentioned before the competition, who was initially just going to compete in the novice category, and then the coach got a call from the federation telling him that Phan Yu has to go to the junior category, and that just 3 weeks before the national competition. And the coach's commitment to the skater has been nothing short of amazing. Being a chauffeur, as we see this double sacco just a drop down. That won't go in though as a fall.
And that double loop was rotated pretty well. He got the legs together. And you can see just by the way he holds his hands, he's still really just trying to be balanced and get through the program okay. Probably has not had a lot of opportunity to do run-throughs. Here's double sacco. This was done pretty nicely. That was nice into a single loop. So that was good execution, good timing on the takeoff. A little bit later, another double loop. And again, the hand goes down, but you just don't want to break in the body. If you can keep that back straight and strong, it's your best chance of landing every jump, relatively clean. And once you break that body in the waist or the shoulders, then your body becomes a larger mass in the air. You rotate slower, and you get a little wobbly on the landing, especially in the middle part of the body, as we see Mama. There we go. Nice.
And the coach, Chia Cheng Wei, has acknowledged what an opportunity this is. And the coach has also been participating in the International Skating Union development camps and the workshops that the ISU offered to coaches. And Chia Cheng Wei really keen to help promote Malaysian skating and doing a brilliant job in supporting Phan Yu Tan here.
31.29 for the crew program for Phan Yu Tan, and that he is the first skater out in the competition. Total competition score 47.88.
Next to skate, representing India, Manjesh Tiwari.
And coach Richard Laidlaw encourages his student, Manjesh Tiwari, to take to the ice. A skater who competed here 12 months ago and hoping to improve on his ISU personal best with his performance here now. Manjesh Tiwari just trying to fit the final features and rotations in on the closing spin to conclude his free skate, eager to make that change foot sit spin count at the highest level he could.
I was impressed with the jump ability with the triple Salchow and the double axel. But he has, both double axles have a star. Why is that? Did he take more steps or something? I'm not sure what he did. Take a look.
And as we see, oh, there's the Sakura.
Oh, yeah, he stepped. Yeah, so that one's gone. And I guess the second one would be gone too. Yeah, I see. Okay. You cannot take steps in between the two jumps. So here's triple toe loop. That was nicely done. Into double toe. Good work. You can see his posture is, the hands are kind of hanging down and the posture's a little hunched over. But, he's a good jumper in regards to getting off the ice. He hasn't quite yet figured out the rotation position straight, and you want those ankles tight together to be really, really tight and straight and strong in the air. And but he's a good jumper. He can get airborne.
And I was talking to, I kind of alluded to it, but I've read a little bit better on his coach's analysis of what had happened. Manjesh's brother won gold at the Special Olympics in figure skating and introduced Manjesh to the sport. And then at the age of 12, his brother organized a training trip to Australia for 3 months, but then COVID hit, and he was stuck in Australia with coach Richard Laidlaw, and he's only just returned home to India to compete at nationals more recently and see his parents 4 years later. So what an amazing story, the pursuit of skating.
Wow, the pursuit of a passion. Wow, that's a great story. Good work there, Inspector.
Thanks, Richard.
Okay, 53.53 for Manjesh, and that is first in the free program with an 80.28, and Manjesh will take over first place early on in the competition. You like seeing his name up in top there. That's good.
Next to skate, representing Thailand, Tharon Warasittichai.
And so the first of the competitors representing the home nation, Tharon Warasittichai, 18th after the short program, but just 15 years of age. Warasittichai, the 15-year-old that was born in the city of Bangkok. And interesting to look back, there was, I don't know if he was struggling with maybe a nosebleed or he kept touching his nose, so I hope he's okay. But what I appreciate with Tharon was that so much arm movement put into the context of the choreography. The costume's also very detailed, so you can tell skater is invested in the artistry or enjoying the artistry, just needing to showcase his talent and package his talent just with a little bit more obviousness in the landings and the entries and exits as we look at the opening.
Yeah, just straighter back, head up, shoulders down, stretch arms, all those fine details that make such a difference in the GOEs. So we see the triple loop attempt at the beginning, of course, downgraded. Here's the double axel, gets around, gets free leg back in time. Barely. And the double Lutz, that worked out pretty well, double toe loop, but you can see not a lot of speed in the landings. It makes it way more difficult. That momentum helps you get through the jump, second double axel, and carry more flow on the landing. And it's physically easier. But when you don't know that, then you think the muscle.
And that's what I think is so easy for us to say when I'm not jumping, but it's to allow the skaters to realize that so much of the work that we quite often see them do is done, but then when they've done, say, the double flip, it's just sitting that back outside edge, give it the time for the judges to recognize the grade of execution before the eagerness to move on. But I think when you've got a 3.5 minute free program filled with difficulty, the skaters then think, oh no, there's no time to sit and hang around, I've got to crack on and get the rest of the elements done.
Yeah, and sometimes you don't realize that when you hold those positions and point your toes and straight back and stuff like that, that's just adding an overall. You can't tell exactly how many points, but it adds to the grade of execution and certainly to the overall program as well. So it's something that a skater either has to be forced to do or wants to do, because it's not always that fun. Jumping's fun, spinning's fun, but details.
And the pain of holding a landing position, because it's physically, you know, the back will burn, the buttocks will burn when you're sustaining a position to showcase it. That stuff's painful. And so then the body, like I said about knee bend in the warm-up, the body self-preserves itself and moves on to the next without sitting into the painful position.
Free program score 53.89 for Tharon. That is first in the free program, so you can see that smile. Total competition score 84.88, or 68, pardon me, and that puts Tharon currently into first place.
Next to skate, representing Indonesia, Rafif Herfianto Putra.
And from one 15-year-old to another, this time representing Indonesia, Rafif Herfianto Putra. Talking of straight backs, he demonstrating as he walks through some of the takeoffs there, quality posture. Let's hope he can keep it for the next 3.5 minutes. for. Well, the finish position and the camel position on the final change foot camel spin at the end of the program for Rafif Herfianto Putra showcased real class, some lovely body movement. As I thought before he started, really nice posture in his movement, just the technical difficulty that we will see from others, and again, not the sustaining of the landings.
Yeah, he had something regal about his skating, you know, something slow, yes, and all that kind of stuff, but he understood the music and the emotion in it, and you could see that in a number of his moves. Had some challenges, of course, on some of the elements. A little bit of a wrap free leg sometimes in the air, but that flying sit was really nice. There's the double flip. You can see that free leg just riding up. You want to have your ankles tight together so you rotate quickly. That double axel, he got the ankles in better, and he did rotate, but unfortunately on a off axis. And there's the double flip. There you can see that free leg again, up, riding up high, and then slow to come out. It's okay for doubles. It's not gonna be a major problem for doubles, but if you have that in triples, that will be a problem. And certainly in quads, you couldn't do it. You need to get the free leg and the ankles tight, straight.
Excellent position in the camel feature, and it begs the question for Rafif Herfianto whether or not, Ted, we'd spoken about when we were in Japan, we saw that the skaters could have their speed of their landing position tracked. You almost wonder for some of these skaters that we're repeatedly seeing now, if they could have a tangible number attached to the landings, maybe that would encourage them to just keep pushing the technique.
Yeah, and also track speed on the entrance, because when you find your speed that you're most successful at, that would be very helpful, of course. Let's take a look at the free program scores. For Rafif, 62.54, he says, ooh, that's good. He's liking that. 94.52, he's pretty happy with that. Good for him.
I think his total last week at the Asian Open was 80, so he's just added a big amount week on week.
Yeah, yeah, he's happy.
Next to skate, representing the Republic of South Africa, Cody Kock!
And now to the 17-year-old Cody Kock. He competed here 12 months ago, was 18th then. Since then, he's had a coaching change, and here in Bangkok with Douglas Haw. And he will skate it to Gota NU.
Hold back the flood in the skyscraper town. You give all the sweat and blood, now you think you're gonna drown. You can't tell that you're bigger than the sea that you're sinking in. But you don't know what you got it at your fingertips. You got it in. You got it in you. When the lights go out, leave you standing in the dark. I told you there's something so hard. I know you think your fire is burning out, and eyes to see beside you. You got it in you. About everything you hear should sound like the truth. 'Cause nobody answers words can define you. Maybe you don't see it, but you're quicker than the world can spin. You should know what you got, 'cause you got it at your
Well, what a great skater Cody Kock is, and the choreo sequence was just so brilliant. That split slide was fantastic. It got the crowd in the Bangkok ice rink really excited. We also got to see the chance to demonstrate, as the South African women's competitor cheers him on ringside, better skating skills in regards to the flow.
A good triple toe loop, nice and tight in the air at the top of the program, up into the double, and followed up with a loopy type of triple toe. At that time, you could see it was not straight in the air, and so it was slower. There's the triple salchow on Alina, once again broken at the waist, so it didn't rotate as fast and didn't get all the way around. But the second triple salchow, no problem. He figured that one out. Good to make the corrections during the program. Nice.
That's a sustained landing. That's what we want.
Look at those splits.
Whee! Oh. It's great. And Cody, as I mentioned before he skated, Dagaha had a seminar in Cape Town in June, and that's what connected this new coach-student partnership. So he's got that to consider, the change in his coaching situation. He's also had plantar fasciitis over the last month, so he's working through that. And for anybody that's had that, that's a particularly painful situation in your boots and in your foot. But I think the adrenaline and the excitement of competing here, you can't sense that he's in any pain now as he sits in the kiss and cry with his coach.
Exactly. He looked pretty happy with that skate, that performance. We'll see what scores come up for him. Let's just see. Personal best 78.09. I think he's going to beat that score.
And hopefully then now, beyond this event, Cody, I'm sure he's working hard on triple loop, triple flip, and triple loops, and the double loops technique looked good. So hopefully this time next year, Cody can come back with an increased difficulty of planned program content, and then we'll be able to enjoy. You might get maybe more people tuning into those brilliant choreo sequences when he's in the later groups.
Yeah.
Cody Kock from the Republic of South Africa.
Free program score 87.66. They look thrilled with that. That's first in the free program with 126.79. Total score for the competition. That'll put Cody currently into first place. That was a positive experience. There he is.
Hey.
The following skaters may now take the ice for their 6-minute warm-up. From Australia, James Lin. From Hong Kong, China, Chit Wang Chow. From Finland,
So 5 more men take to the ice in this men's free skate. Total of 20 men competing. Now there are, for the skating fans that aren't as aware, the maximum number of single skaters that you can have in a warm-up is 6. Any more than that, and then a new group has to be formed. And so the group of 20 men in this competition has been divided up into 4 groups of 5. And these 5 men might be appreciative of the fact it's a slightly less busy warm-up, and also for the final skater in the group, a slightly less lengthy delay before their final performance. And that can be the moment of most stress for many, because after your warm-up, where you have 6 minutes to prepare yourself mentally and physically, then it can be up to a 40-minute wait. And if you can imagine, for the skaters that are maybe vying for an Olympic title or an Olympic medal, if they're the final competitor in the group, then the long, anxious wait can be torturous. And indeed, with that in mind, we've had questions in regarding which is more stressful, waiting for scores to be announced, perhaps waiting to take to the ice. And some of the skaters love to relish that final moments before they go on, but I think for most skaters, the pre-performance is the most daunting. And all 5 of the men in this group will have had the opportunity to warm up earlier today as Gangnam Style is played out in the arena. And what, Ted, is there a practice rink within the venue? Oh, they can fit everything. So there's really no... Okay. Which would be a first for me. That would be something, unless it just gives me more time to go to the practices and interrogate people for more information. Yeah. Keep the commentator out. Well, we've just... Well, I think, and that's, I was just explaining off air that I've been trying to reach out to some of the skaters who will be competing next week in Ankara, and reaching out to both skaters, coaches, choreographers, just to give intel, because it's so interesting to hear. You know, we had Manjesh Tiwari, who, the Indian representative here in Bangkok, who went to Australia for a 3-month school trip, and then when COVID hit, he spent 4 years there training with his coach Richard Laidlaw, and only recently got back to see his family. Those kind of stories, just so fascinating, and we're seeing the product of their sporting endeavors. But, you know, they don't skate 24/7. So much of these young people have amazing life stories that it's so cool to share.
You have 1 minute remaining for your warm-up.
Yes. Well, yes, I couldn't agree more. Please do reach out to us and let us know. On the back of what you just mentioned about Noemi Maria Tali, the winner of the ice dance competition from Italy, she was explaining to me that her partner, Noah Lafornara, his grandmother was a New York City Rockette and Broadway dancer, and his mum was a figure skating coach, his dad was a gymnastics coach, and his brother is now an actor on cruise ships and doing the Broadway production of Cats on a cruise. How cool is that?
Your warm-up time is over. Please leave the ice.
And that's so often the case. So often, you know, some amazing humans and the families that rear them.
Ladies and gentlemen, next to skate, representing Australia, James Lin!
So 15th after the short program, 16 years of age, James Lin, and skates to Apache. I think he used Apache, different track by the band for a short program, so hopefully connected and loving the music choice. we can at least speak and sing the praises of James Lin, having seen the tripolutes in warm-up, and the opening tripolutes in the program, unfortunately, that had to fall, consequently paved the way for a difficult skate for the 16-year-old. But we've seen it in practice. It's more difficult than anything I think that we have seen thus far in the competition, and that's maybe just where the skater is at, including harder stuff, but with greater risk.
Yeah,
opportunity for mistakes.
When you can do an element, it doesn't mean that you own the element. You own the element when you're able to deliver that in competition on a regular basis. We saw the Lutz right over the top there, and I think that he can do these elements, the Lutz, but it's not yet ingrained enough. The beautiful double axle, that was nice, and you can see how quickly and straight and strong he was in the air. So he has the ability, just doesn't have the mileage yet on that Lutz.
Yeah, and you know, adrenaline does crazy things there. You can see the doubles, the technique definitely good enough for triple, and we saw triple in warm-up, and I even saw on his social media that James is working on triple axel in the harness as well, so conscious and aware of what's necessary, because ultimately he wants to be competing in some of the top groups, and triple axel and quads will be a necessity at that stage, but obviously this is just a stepping stone towards that.
Yeah, and evaluating his skating, you go, he's strong. That's not a problem. It's his posture a little bit that will greatly help him as he throws his glove. The coaches, a little ruckus in the kiss and cry there.
Brilliant.
You know, that posture is so critical to be able to do what you want to do, which is triples and quads. But if you don't have that posture and that straight back, it's a bit of a challenge as they continue to joust each other in the kiss and cry.
Isn't it? You know, isn't it funny? Coach Richard Laidlaw, and to keep men involved, and engaged, and interested in the sport, it's challenging for the coaches to know how to best keep piquing the interest of the athlete. And it looks like these two have a good camaraderie and kind of jokey relationship.
Totally. Yeah. They have a sense of humor.
Yeah, and so
That's
then you
good.
think, well, the coach has made a fun environment, and that's a safe place for any 16-year-old to want to be.
Yep, absolutely. That's the magic that some of the coaches are. And that's what I try to get at a little bit with Kathy, because Kathy has such a wonderful demeanor. Kathy Reed, who we're talking about, who joined us for the dance commentary, and such a wonderful, classy demeanor that it makes you probably feel that you want to please her. You want her to be happy with what you do. 66.79 for James Lin from Australia. That is second in the free program with 106.10, and that'll put James currently, at least for the moment, into second place. There it is. Cody Kock from South Africa did a great job. He's got a 20-point lead. That was a big program for him, and sort of mission accomplished. Here we go.
So we saw the first ever ice dance team representing Hong Kong at the Junior Grand Prix in the free dance earlier today. Now the turn of Chit Wang Chow in the men's event. Well, Chit Wang Chow completes a very busy couple of weeks, having competed last week at the Asian Open Figure Skating Trophy in Kowloon Bay. And I think, based on what I've seen online from the skating scores, that is the first time that he's done a clean, fully rotated triple flip in competition. And that's a huge, exciting accomplishment for the skater when they can add one of their new jumps, not just to the training rink, but then to the competition rink.
Yeah, well, that's the big move. You know, you learn in the training rink, and then you have to apply in the competition rink, and they're completely different things. That's for sure. It's not easy to do, but you got to put it out there, and he did. So that was great. Take a look at some of the elements. There's triple flip right on top. You can see the coach in the background just pounding her hands. Yeah.
And she was enjoying it the whole way through.
And there's the triple loop, gets that done as well. Triple toe loop, a little bit too far forward, but gets the double axel up into the double axel done. Not easy with no momentum and flow. You have to really use your thigh. There's the triple salchow hopping around on the landing. It's minus GOE in there for sure. There's triple toe loop, that was nicely done. Into double toe. It's good. I would hope he regards that as pretty successful. Coach does, I think.
Yeah, but interestingly, he had the 95.5 at the Asian Open last week, but then it looks like he's attempted the triple flip before, but just hasn't had it deemed as fully rotated, so he looks delighted. Yeah. And you just never know why there's so much joy or so much sadness based on what they've been doing before the event.
No, it's true. 85.43 are personal bests, and he has an 89.90, so he seemed to be pretty happy with that. As his coach goes, okay, that's okay. That's first overall so far in the competition with a 131.10. That'll put him into first place for the moment.
Next to skate, representing Finland, Jari Krestyannikov.
And now to Jari Krestyannikov, a skater who showcased some individuality, great expression in his short program, just struggling with the cleanliness of the jumping passes. And he intends to open with the most difficult element that we've seen so far in the competition, a triple axel. Jari Krestyannikov. There's something exciting about him. There was a moment where he was really expressing and like engaged with the music. But when I look at the feedback from his score sheet at the Finnish test skate, you see this kind of outcome perhaps being a similar theme. 4 falls at that event, 3 falls at this event, and a skater who's obviously can land difficult content, just struggling to produce it in the context of a 3.5-minute piece.
Well, I think, you know, when you're a young man, I remember that I was like that too. I had all this power. And so your brain goes, okay, just, you know, you can just throw yourself up, you're going to muscle it out. And you don't use technique. And that's what happens here with this young man. That double axel looked like it was going to be okay, like he was going to transfer to rotation. It didn't. Here's the triple Lutz. That was good. Euler and double Saka. So he's going, okay, not bad. But then we've had some big problems here. Oh, not that one. Okay. Maybe I only picked a few that he did. Here's the triple toe loop, and that was an awkward fall. Not easy. And he started to bail. Go ahead. Yeah,
he bailed in a few, and he has some kind of cool falls. I don't know if that's the right description of it, but he has some intriguing ways of coming down, which suggests just that split second. Either it could be fatigue, either it could be a lack of confidence, or just a second guessing oneself.
I think it is fatigue, and also because when fatigue sets in, your brain automatically goes, use your muscle, and then you start to shove and cram and jab your pick and do all the things that you wouldn't do when you've got the energy. We've talked about this, that jumps and spins that have mistakes they use so much more energy. And once you get in that pattern and you're getting tired, you try to use more energy, and you just lose control of technique. And that momentum across the ice, timing with the takeoffs, it does it for you. But it's a hard concept, especially with these young men as they have all this power, don't know quite how to use
it. You could just see they're shaking the thighs, the lactic acid build-up at the end of the program, and especially when you've had the 3 falls, then it's, as we've touched on so many times now, so much more effort to get through the program with it. It's like a steeplechase runner going down on a hurdle, you know, like it's going to take so much more to get back on track. And good to see Marina Shirsheva, his coach, supporting him here just at this event, not his main coach, being empathic and offering a safe space to just offload. You can see Jari just articulating what he feels about the performance.
Yeah, you can just see his despondent sort of nature at the moment. He's just so disappointed, and there's not much a coach can say at this point, and you're disappointed in yourself.
Yeah, and I think what's really impressive here, the coach, who isn't his coach, is not her place to necessarily start stepping in and giving technique. She's just offering a space like a team leader would, and Jari's lucky that he's got that kind of support from the Finnish Federation.
Let's see, the free program score is 80.20. That is third in the free program for Jari. Total competition score is 126.04. That puts him, at least for the moment, in third place.
This puts him currently in 3rd place. Next to skate, representing Kazakhstan, Artur Smagulov.
And now to Artur Smagulov. He looks focused and intent in this. His free program, Adagio, tells us about the search for true love. Artur Smagulov has so much expression. It's an amazingly powerful piece, Adagio. And he explains to me, as I said at the start of the program, that it's about a search for true love, and you sense that yearning, searching expression in this Kazakhstani skater. He said that due to his education, he's been training in Kazakhstan with his mom, but works online with Rafael Aratunin and Vida.
Yeah, he does have sort of a passion performance. You can see more than just a choreography. You can see him feeling it, which is really cool. There's the triple axel, great takeoff, good flight through the air. Check out a little bit too late, so he had to step out. Hangs on to that triple Lutz. Not really hangs on to it, but your second triple axel, good, right over top of that right hip. Lifts up beautifully in the air. It's like he over rotates those things.
Yeah.
Wow, nice. And sets up for the triple loop, hands above the head. It seems like it's just the landings that are a little bit sloppy. The takeoffs are awesome, rotation position is good, and then the checkout and stopping the rotation is inconsistent, obviously, as we see that. But once he starts to really get the feel of when to check out, hold the back firm, and have an easy landing, it's going to be incredible.
And Artur hasn't yet experienced the Junior World Championships, and so as Mikhail Brezhina is with him in the kissing crowd, it'll be interesting to see if he gets the opportunity to do that this coming season. There's certainly like a technique that's good enough both across the skating skills and in the jump takeoffs that you can see this athlete being able to go into the senior category.
Well, he's a real athlete. He's got power, that's for sure. Let's take a look at the free program scores. His personal best is 105.50. He's not going to hit that here with those step outs, but you can see he can do a 105 no problem. He has abilities.
And higher.
Yeah, oh yeah.
I think every one of the jumping passes had a negative grade of execution based on the execution today.
Yep.
We can see based on the takeoffs that he's got the potential for a positive GOE. It's just
totally.
Sliding scale.
He is a 96.01. That's first in the free program with a 143.49 for Artur Smagulov from Kazakhstan. And that will put him for the moment into first place. He's, you know, not thrilled because he knows what he can do. He's still searching for how to deliver that in competition. But once he does, it's going to be a significantly higher score.
Representing Sweden, Elias Sayed.
And now to the 17-year-old Elias Sayed, just one spot outside of the top 10 after the short program. But he has a huge former personal best from the last year's Junior Grand Prix of 115.8, and that would give him a strong boost of his chances to make the top 10 here. big exhale from Elias Sayed, who would rather forget what has just taken place. And it just shows, I know for Elias, skates and costume hadn't arrived by Tuesday, and he was admitted to me that he was feeling quite nervous, obviously, because he didn't have his skates. And so if we just backtrack from that, he's lost a practice day there, he's got the nerves and anxiety of it, he's had the travel from, I think he's from Uppsala, I don't know if that's where he currently trains, but long travel. So all of these things could pave way for this skate whereby he feels like he doesn't really know himself, because the jumps were not that which we have seen from him before.
Well, that triple axel had a good takeoff and fast rotation, but not on axis, of course. And there's that 3-jump sequence, triple flip, double axel, triple lutz a little bit later in the program on a big lean, and he has to take the fall there. You can tell he just was not centered. Double toe, double toe. I'm sure he planned triple toe there. Yeah, he was struggling throughout the program to find his balance, which is not unusual for Junet at all.
No, and I know that he works with Tatiana. Oh yeah. But he also has a coach listed as Moses Sayed, so perhaps family member that's on his coaching staff as well. So hopefully then getting extra support in Bangkok after the difficult disappointment of that skate.
Yeah.
And he's going to suffer from 4-point deduction from the 4 falls. In juniors, it's a point per fall. In seniors, that penalty can increase. So all opportunity, it's almost like the ISU recognizes that the juniors is the training ground for the learning and for the mistakes to be made.
Right. The free program score is 79.79 for Elias, and that is 5th in the free program with a total competition score of 128.57, and that'll put him into 3rd place for the moment, with 2 groups to come, 10 more skaters, as he finds himself in 3rd place.
In 3rd place.
There you go. So we're going to have a break on the ice resurfacing. Up next will be the video playback. What do we got on cue here, Mark?
A chance to look back at the winner's interview from Riga when Sena Takahashi from Japan became champion. And then another look at the special gifts you've received, Ted, from the art story in Thailand. And then a day in the life with French coach Romain Ponsard, World Ice Skating Day. And then finally, the video that surmises the fun from Yerevan, the last stop on last year's Junior Grand Prix.
Perfect. Enjoy. We'll be back right after this.
Omedetou gozaimasu. Congratulations. Your first Junior Grand Prix, your win here. How do you feel?
まさか優勝すると思ってなかったので、すごく嬉しいです。
Fantastic, fantastic. So, you train alongside Mao Shimada and Ikuro Kushida, and we could see they were here supporting you. Is it an inspiration to have such great training mates?
すごく素晴らしい人気をもらっているので、感謝しながら頑張りたいです。
And we're interested to know what your next event will be.
ポーラン
The Junior Grand Prix in Gdansk in Poland. And do you have any goals for the rest of the season?
ド。今シーズンは自分らしく今後も頑張りたいです。
Fantastic. So I'm going to try. I'll see if I can remember. Ganbatte kodasai. Ganbatte kodasai. Arigatou gozaimasu.
ありがとうございます。
message, and he said, I was just thinking you don't have a Swiss jacket. No way you go on the kiss and cry with the French one. I like the what you wear. Hey guys, my name is Romain Ponsard. I'm a figure skating coach for France and Switzerland. And I'm here in Osaka, and I wish I could go back to my junior world and get on the ice and do programs, but I'm here as a coach now. It's my first season coaching, and I'm really enjoying it and really excited to be here in Osaka. And we will today have the free program run through for my skaters, and first time touching the ice here in Osaka, so we'll see how it goes. François, j'ai fait tomber le téléphone. Merci. What I'm looking for on this kind of practice is first adapt to the ice rink because it's a new environment for the skaters. Also do the pattern of the program, always to adapt of the size of the rink and the atmosphere of the rink. Always when you do a long travel like Japan, you arrive to the first practice and you feel like your stamina is so bad always. So it's important to have it running one first time. And after we went through all the jump, one by one and on sections like in the program. And after that we finish with a spin to show all the level to the controllers that are watching the practice. So now it was supposed to be lunch break, but he wanted to watch the practice of the men, so his competitor. So this is gonna be our lunch break from the skating lounge. And we are actually lucky because in Japan the food is really good, so we will enjoy the food and keep watching the practice of the men.
Number 2.
So here I have two different types of skater. I have Eugenia, that is her first junior Grand Prix, so she's pretty stressed about it. And I tried to bring it to her as just getting experience that we didn't expect really something from her beside to enjoy this experience. And on the other side we have François Pitot from France that is trying to go to the final, Junior Grand Prix final. So he got second to his first Junior Grand Prix in Bangkok. And now here he's gonna try to get on the podium to be able to participate at the Junior Grand Prix final. And with him, it's an approach where it's more about confidence and trusting himself and just to show one more time what he does at practice and not to do more because he's the kind of skater that wants to try the day of the competition to show more. And try when you do everything to relax, go deep in your knee. Mm-hmm. Yeah, because you're a little bit stiff, that's why I relax. Just enjoy the moment, okay?
I don't know, I cannot enjoy it, there's too nervous.
And pick up. You can go for triple. Okay, good job, Evgenia. Proud of you. Really well handled.
Yeah, I will also have to.
That's this season's best score.
総合得点219.86、最終順位は第1位です。
Happy World Ice Skating Day, everyone!
So, ready for the last day, Mark?
I'm ready.
Let's go.
What?
Let's go. Oh, that was awful. Let's go. That was pathetic.
welcome back to the Junior Men Free Skate. May the following skaters please take the ice for their 6-minute warm-up. From France, Gianni Motilla. From Canada, Grayson Long. From Great Britain, Tao Macrae. From Israel, Kirill Sheiko. And from the United States of America, Taira Shinohara.
Welcome back, everyone, to Bangkok, Thailand. The final two groups here in week number 3, the men's free program. And boy, I tell you, we've got some good skaters in the last group. They did not all of them had a good practice, that's for sure. I was watching Rio Nakata, and he's been skating brilliantly in the other practices, but he did not have a good practice session this morning. But that doesn't mean anything because he can do everything. He's so amazing. And Yanhao Li, of course, he's in the lead, and he looked pretty good. He doesn't have the quads. As we take a look at Grayson Long from Canada there. And yeah, no, it's going to be interesting because there's a lot of good skaters even in this group, but it hasn't been a great event so far, Mark.
No, and it's interesting when we talk about Rio Nakata. So he obviously showcased such amazingness, and we have to assume that the stars are suggesting that he's going to go on to great senior success. But this experience perhaps here, being in a perhaps surprise second by quite a margin, how he's then coped with that, who knows? I'm joining the dots, but maybe that's played into the less than stellar practice this morning. But that's an experience for him. So when he's, say, in the Olympic Games and he's in the top group and he's got to come back after a difficult short program, all these kind of things, we talk about the development of the skater as skaters, but this is the development for some of the athletes as competitors.
Yeah, absolutely. There's so many different scenarios that you need to go through, things that you don't want to go through. You wouldn't choose to do it, but they happen, and you have to know how to be the hunted or to be the hunter, and how to react, calm yourself down or jack yourself up, right? So what you have to know how to control yourself and motivate yourself in these completely different, and you only get those moments in competition. You don't get them in practice. You get different types of moments in practice, but yeah, we'll see what happens. There's certainly some good skaters, but we'll see if they can turn it around.
And yeah, I think as you look at this group, I sense that Rio Nakata is a fiery competitor that could probably channel it to real success. But yet, just like you said, Ted, whilst I can sense he's competitive, he might not know how yet to channel that competitivity. It's so difficult. That's what makes our sport so fascinating and so challenging, that extra energy can make something that needs to have such precision very variable in its outcome.
Well, I go back to Lake Placid 2017, 2018, I'm not sure which one. Ilya Melina. He was the same way. Incredibly talented, incredible. And then he skated a perfect short program, and then a disastrous free program, and then a disastrous short program, then a great free program. And so he had to learn what state of mind he was in when it didn't go well, and what state of mind he was in when it did go well. And you only learn that by going through those things. So this will be a positive experience either way. a good day for Rio or for Yanhao, or it won't be. But either way, long term, it'll be something of value.
And referencing Ilya Malinin, the world champion, who, as you say, was competing here on the Junior Grand Prix, he has just posted yesterday a short program score in the men's event at the Lombardia Trophy of 107.25, beating the Olympic silver medalist Yuma Kageyama by nearly 9 points. So
yeah,
you knew that he was a talent then, and he's gone on to greatness and continues to do so.
The job for Ilya is going to be maintain this level of physicality and expectation and keep his interest and passion for the sport. And right now he's still young and full of, you know, vim, and he wants to do it.
Vim and vigor.
Yeah, exactly. I was thinking of something else, but I thought, no, don't say that. But he's got a lot of energy. But how long can you maintain that level of sort of expectation, level of people having that interest in you? How long your drive to skate stays? We'll see.
And I suppose with an athlete like Ilya Malinin, obviously referencing Rio Nakata's reaction to being, in this instance, Ilya Malinin has done something that people didn't believe was possible with the quad axel. He's gobsmacked people around the world, but what's the next thing? And who knows? Quintuple Salco, who knows? Maybe
he's talked about that, and
he's a bit of a tease.
Yeah, and he has a window of physicality and youthfulness to do that. And, you know, it won't be 5 years from now. It'll need to be within the next couple of years. But here we go. Group number 3 in the men's free program.
And this group will be opened by Gianni Motilla. And Gianni will skate to the track Redemption by Hertz.
Well, the first event of this new season for Gianni Motilla, the first time I think that he's done a triple-triple in competition based on what I've seen online, and another triplets, triple toe in the free skate in addition to what he performed in the short program. But as the dancers ringside cheer him on, there were some really, there's a non-basic spin position that I don't think I've seen before, and there's some really cool choreographic highlights.
Well, this young man had energy all the way through the program. He just kept accelerating, and for the most part rotated and landed very nicely. A couple of mistakes here or there. We see the triple flip. Look how it lifts straight up in the air. Double toe, double loop. Wow. Triple Lutz. Very quick in here. His nice straight tight feet together. Triple loop. They go fast and a solid landing as well. I think here, maybe let's see what I did here. Oh, there's that position here.
Isn't that cool?
Yeah.
Like how he's got the right elbow pushing against his left knee for that torque. That's unique.
Yeah, the only thing I could say with him is maybe trying to keep his head up on the landings, although it's not bad, but boy, the basic technique of takeoff, rotation, and landing, it's all there, and the speed throughout the program.
Oh, I love that.
Yeah, that's awesome.
And
well,
he's been with his coach Malika for 3 years now, but the choreographer Mahil is also here. He's an ice dance coach, so how nice for him to be in Asia with the coach and the choreographer and have that support from both parties.
Yeah. Wow, that was a great demonstration of the abilities of this young man. We'll see much more from him in the rest of this season. And he might be a threat for top 5 or so in the world. Junior World, 115.40. That's first, of course, in the free program with 169.55. And that'll put Gianni Motilla currently in the first place. Good job.
Yeah, I think we'll see him again in Ljubljana as well, so that's a great place to start from.
Yeah.
Next to skate, representing Canada, Grayson Long!
And now to the Canadian 16-year-old Grayson Long. He had issues with the triplets and the triple axel in the short program. Those intended to be the first 2 jumping passes for Grayson as he assumes his start position skating to a Queen medley. with the Queen medley free skate, the same free skate that Grayson Long used last year.
I think the crowd here would like for him to keep it and perform it again next season if they had the opportunity to watch this skater who
seems to be attracting a lot of fans and attention in Bangkok.
Well, this young man has improved so much. I know he will be disappointed he didn't get the triple X done. That's a new element for him, and we've seen it all in the summer, and he just missed it here in Bangkok. But his maturity through his performance, his ability to cope, not let one mistake creep into 2 or 3, is getting stronger. His speed across the ice, the nice posture on the landings, all those types of things. He's skating much more like a senior man. He's just 16 years old, so, and he's got quite the personality. So it was a pretty good program overall.
And in the short program, as we see Grayson heading into the triple loop, oh, nice ankles. He was 5th highest program component score, so it was the mistakes on the jumping passes that buried him in this group. But certainly if he can continue to up the tech score as he does the triple flip Euler-ish, step over possibly Salco.
Yeah, he tends to not lift as much on the toe jumps as he does on the edge jumps at this point. He had a little bit of a struggle, but he hung on to that. Yeah, hydroblading. But he's got a sort of a suave, you know, he's a skater of interest to the fans.
Isn't it interesting, because we've talked a lot about the fans here, but they, both short program and free skate, they've connected with this man. He is, you know, if there was an applause-ometer, he has received the highest.
I think so, yeah. Oh, he's going over the small details, technical details with Brian, and Brian is such a good technical coach, and not just technical coach, overall coach. So he's in great hands with Brian. But you know, Brian and every coach has to have patience as these kids grow. And 121.49, that's first in the free program. You see Brian's that's pretty good. 177.275, that puts Grayson currently in the first place. So you can see Brian go, that's okay, that's okay, that's good. That's good, good 8-point lead. He's got something special going for him. If he could just get all his elements, and he will, get all delivered, then watch out.
And now to the 17-year-old Tao Macrae in 8th place after the short program, just politely acknowledging the audience here as he simulates the takeoff. We saw him go for a triple axel in the warm-up. Seen him do it in practice. If it is tapping, it will be the first element in his free skate.
Tao Macrae from Great Britain. He attempted the triple axel in the short program, not successfully. Closer today, and I remember seeing, I think it was Mikhail Brezhina, his coach, posting on social media, welcome to the triple axel club. And it is a big deal. And from Great Britain, there aren't a huge number of men who have landed that jump, so it's an exciting place for a skater in their career. It's this, yeah.
It's true, the single axle, the double axle, and the triple axle are all landmarks in the journey of skating for any skater, really. It's the one jump, the only jump that goes off forward. And it's a little bit weird because you're jumping into space. You don't sort of have, when you're backing up, you just keep it nice and narrow and back up over your pick. But the axle is just a weird jump. And when you get that triple axle, you are now in the big boys club. Or the big women's club, you know, whatever. You're in the big club, okay?
Next level. Next level.
Yeah. There's a triple axle all the way around, so that's good. And he just couldn't stop the rotation fast enough. There's the triple Lutz, nice and high, double total. I think he was probably going for a triple. Popped it into the double, triple loop, but then what happened?
Ooh,
oh, it was an axle. It was an axle. Yeah, they called it really well. There's a triple sow later in the program. That had nice flow on the takeoff edge and on the landing. And that's the type of jump that you want on every jumping pass, where it makes it look so easy, and you have a plus GOE for quality on that. He has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 elements out of 11 that are in the minus GOEs. Not bad, sort of 50%. And you want to get that everything in the plus GOEs. You're just adding points to your base values.
And Tao seems to have got this great working relationship with former Czech skating star Mikhail Brezhina as he waves his Great British flag or his Great British jacket. And Mikhail Brezhina actually came to the British Ice Skating Association's coaches conference and extended some of the knowledge that he has amassed working with some of the world's most illustrious coaches to the British ice skating community. And so that's great that the connection that Tao and he have made have been extended then to another set of next generation coaches too.
Well, Mikhail had such a brilliant career himself and a long career. And so he has certainly gone through so many different scenarios that he knows it's not just about teaching the technique and the elements, it's about how to cope with those odd situations that are a bit disturbing. He has that experience, passing that on to his students, of course. Let's take a look at Tao's free program score, 108.15. That is third in the free program. Total competition score, 169.33, and that will put Tao Macrae from Great Britain currently, for the moment, into third place.
Puts him currently in third place. Next to skate, representing Israel, Kirill Sheiko.
I like this young man.
Well, we saw his brother, who was so wonderful in his Junior Grand Prix, and Kirill Sheiko, the youngest skating competitor in the Sheiko family, was brilliant in the short program. Now for the free skate.
Well, Mark, this is a perfect example of a young man who's very talented, but doesn't have a lot of experience yet. And when things started to go wrong, he didn't know yet, he hadn't faced yet how to correct that in the middle of the program. I mean, he's a wonderful skater, a wonderful jumper, but they started to pop, he started to question himself and started not to focus on the technique. Your thoughts?
Yeah, and in this short program, Kirill Sheiko had 62 of the 63 grade of execution inputs positive or base. So he had a virtually flawless short program, and you just have no idea how that impacted upon this young 13-year-old's brain space, because we were all talking about him and how hard it is then to experience something so uniquely new, to be, you know, called a potential star, and how to control that as we see the opening double axel where there was no pressure. But the Lutz, a different case.
Yeah, he pulls that edge to the inside a little bit too quickly and gets the body too turned around. There's the triple flip that went up nicely, but you know, he's sort of just out of sync, and the landings were not crisp and sharp. Even with that triple sacco, the leg was wrapped around. He gets it done, no problem, but not like we've seen in practice or in the short program. Got a bright future. No question, no question.
Oh.
But you got to go through these learning experiences. It's not pleasant, but you must.
Yeah, and Kirill doesn't necessarily know. He's only 13 years old, but like we can see, well, he's going to be a star. He's got great coaches, great support network. His brother's a great positive inspiration, I'm sure, to him, who's already blazed the trail. His brother's probably already had his own experiences like this, so he will be able to fast forward from it. And look at his mom now. It's just a kind of shrug of the shoulders, and yeah, that happens.
Well, she's probably saying the same thing.
Learn from it and move on.
Exactly. She's probably saying the same thing we are. Actually, you needed this. You never want it. You don't try to do it. But when it comes, you go, oh, okay, I'm going to not let that happen again.
Kirill Sheiko from Israel has earned
Free program score 83.74 for Kirill Sheiko from Israel. That's 7th in the free program with a 145.85, and that'll put him currently into 4th place. And that's not where he saw himself. It's not where he wanted to be. But I can guarantee you this young man will be much better next time out.
Next to skate, representing the United States of America, Taira Shinohara!
And now to the highest ranked skater in this group, 6th after the short program, Taira Shinohara. A skater who I understand can solve a Rubik's Cube in under 40 seconds. Can he solve a junior men's free skate?
competing in his first Junior Grand Prix, Taira Shinohara. He's competed 4 times already in domestic events in the United States of America. And I really, as the Peel siblings and the ice dancers from the United States of America cheer him on, a really interesting skater. I love the choreo sequence and some really beautiful highlights, soft knees, but just a very mixed bag in regards to the jumping passes.
Yeah, and you could see him feel certain parts of that program. He was patient with his choreography, working with the phrasing of the music, and there were moments of that. So you know he's got that under development, and he can jump. You can see that, but also there were some mistakes during the program, but not too bad. Here's the triple axel, and this was just the fall. It's they gave him the clean, and the second one. And that is all the way around. He lands it, and yeah, he's got it clean. Triple Lutz doesn't put the hand down, gets up to triple toe. Boy, what a quick reaction on that. That was good. It has to be instinctive. So he flies down the ice with the triple Saukow. Nicely done. Beautiful gliding edge. Nice large curve, the triple flip. And patience, get up to the double axel. And a little bit more. And it's not too much around the corner. A little messy on the second one.
No.
Here's what you liked.
Just unique movement. And interestingly, Taira, he's got his own YouTube channel and he documents his skating journey, and it's interesting just to get an insight into his perspective of the skating journey. There's obviously, there have been so many brilliant US men in our sport. It's just great to get an insight into his journey along this path as we see just tightness starting to creep in on that, the final triple, the triple loop that came in at a quarter under rotated.
Looks pretty happy coming off the ice though.
Yeah. I think, is it Denise Myers, the coach with him here?
Yes. Free program scores for Taira Shinohara from the United States.
Taira Shinohara from the United States of America has
129.49. That first of the free program with a total competition score of 197.53, and that puts him into first place with 5 skaters to go. Good for him. There it is. Wow, good 20-point lead over Grayson.
The following skaters.
Okay, here we go. Now the tension builds. All these skaters are so good. And they had a little bit of challenges in the practice today, but we'll see what happens.
From China, Tonghe Tian.
And we have had a couple of questions coming in, Ted. Thanks to those that have sent those into us. And one of the skaters, one of the questions, sorry, I think it's a really interesting one that we don't perhaps acknowledge. Well, we certainly don't acknowledge it often, and we maybe don't acknowledge it often because it's not given any value, but it is a big part of our sport. I'll cut to the chase. How do you think the skaters pick their costume?
How did the what?
What are you going to say? How do you think skaters pick their costumes?
Well, usually when you're early on, mom does them. And it's never really a good, unless your mom's a really expert sewer, but it's never really a good thing. But I think later on, as these skaters get into juniors and particularly in seniors, there are costume designers usually in the business somewhere in the country or around that are well known, and they might send the music or tell the person what they're skating to, and then a design is made, and they send the design, they prove it or not, and then it gets made. So that's kind of how it all happens, unless mom makes it all the way. Or dad.
And I think, well, yeah, but I think it's interesting because for many people looking into our sport, they see the sparkly costumes and think that's a big facet, but the costume has no correlation to the score. And so we've seen in this event, in the ice dance competition, just earlier today, we saw Hannah Maria Aboyan with her partner Neil Vasilukin skating to Mozart, and she wore something that was very, very simple, and I'm sure relatively inexpensive. And then sometimes there are costumes like that of the skater on our screen now, which when they have the crystals like this, the Swarovski crystals, they're very, very expensive. And I think sometimes, although it doesn't have an impact on the skater's success, sometimes when a skater's adorned with a designer costume and it's of great value, it can enhance their confidence, and that will then enhance their scoring, because when the skater's more confident, they can commit more to the presentation and the judges will recognize it. So that's maybe part of the reason we see some elaborate costuming.
Well, you're a pretty stylish guy, so you know how you feel when you've got a nice jacket and turtleneck on or whatever. But you know, trust me, when you get older, you go, there's nothing that can make me look better. So, you know, but
so just give in.
Yeah, you just give in. But I think that it's true that these skaters, if they get something that fits well and they feel they look good, I would also argue a little bit, Mark, that a beautiful costume, particularly in the women's, that matches the music and the personality of the skater does add something to an overall impression. It doesn't have a score related to it, but it does add, you know, it does add something. I can't quantify it.
Yeah, and that's the thing. That's why I was kind of like, oh, I don't know if I should mention anything, because that's when it gets subjective, and that's where, you know, you can have, you know, the judges won't have anything in their criteria regarding how well a skater is presented, but you know, particularly the women, but sometimes in the men's event as well, the skaters will pay attention to all of the packaging, the hair, the makeup, the nails. We've seen that men's and women's in this season, and it certainly, we as humans can't help but be swayed by somebody who's obviously put effort in. And I mean, I think I remember, you know, people ask us about standout memories. I think I remember sometimes seeing, it was in a pairs event last week, and then last season, I remember in the junior women's event, a skater who had really bold, unique, brave makeup choice. And I'm thinking, well, that would have an impact on the scores, but it's helping me to kind of get a better idea for your presentation and your composition, because there's a story behind it. And so when the judges are coming to assess how committed, engaged, and invested are you in the concept of your choreography, well, the makeup that's, you know, a direct copy of the film that the music's from, it's likely to have a bit of an influence on your brain space.
Yeah, for sure it does. For sure it does. I think of the men less so, because they pretty much just wear black, right? With me, some men may have sparkles, but you know, mostly don't. But in the ice dance and the women's, I've seen some costumes. You just go, wow, did that ever add to the picture in your eyes? You know, it was beautiful.
Well,
so yeah.
Yeah, and I actually know there was a costume designer in the UK, bespoke costume designer, Sophie, and she actually still creates pieces for Lila Fearless Gibson, the world #4 in ice dance, and she's gone on, she made such a success of her business as a figure skating costumier, making beautiful, beautiful costumes. She now creates the boxing shorts for like world boxing championships, and they're like crazy expensive. We're talking tens of thousands of pounds, and she's just transcended the skating market into this unique. Who knew boxing could have such elaborate shorts?
They still want to look good as they're getting beat up. So I mean, it's kind of, I think it's all part of the show, of course. You know, you come into the ring and it's part of the show, which is kind of cool in a way. I mean, you know, art meets, you know, the beast. I don't know.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah.
So there was a whole warm-up group discussing costumes, and I think you know, it's things like that which I'm reluctant to talk about, but it does impact us.
Well, I think people watching all have, I don't like that costume, or I like that costume. So I think people, you know, we don't really mention that. We don't want to make an opinion on that. They let other people have that opinion, but I'm sure the viewers will say, oh, that's beautiful, or that doesn't add too much. So it is part of the enjoyment of viewing the sport, and has maybe a little bit of impact overall for a judge. We'll see. Here we go.
Well, it's a very nice costume for the next competitor. Opening the group, Haru Kakiuchi, he explained that injury has prevented him from including triple axel, but the quality of his skating could help him push into medal position.
That was special.
Wow.
From Japan,
Yeah.
Haru Kakiuchi.
That was
And
so.
Haru Kakiuchi was, sorry Ted, he was just explaining to me, obviously he'd had the injury, so that I think against triple axel, but then he opened with that quad toe that just looked effortless, and that effortlessness continued through every one of the 6 other jumps.
Yeah, his posture is so perfect, and his moves and choreography are simple but so beautifully performed. It's just amazing. This is a high quality skater. We'll see some good PC scores out of this as well. There's the quad toe. Absolutely. Look at the stretch. Straight back, glide on the landing, triple loop. Again, strong back. Young skaters, watch his upper back, shoulders. Perfect. Stretch those arms out. Watch again on the landing. And there's the double axel. Back is strong. So important. And one more time here in the triple lutz. Watch the upper body. Just unfolds the free leg to come back and keeps the upper body straight, strong, and that's the secret to consistent and high quality jumps. All the GOEs. So there are just 2 out of the 11 elements that are in the minus GOE. Oh, the quad toe is on a quarter, so he is a minus 1.22. But the triple flip double axel sequence is a minus 0.30. The rest of it is all in the positives.
And what I think so lovely about Haru Kakiuchi is that he acknowledged to me the kindness and the politeness of the local volunteers, and the fact that when I was asking him, you know, for what he thinks as he's moved to tears a little bit about how he feels, he's acknowledging the good manners of those around, and that just, you know, kind of passed that back. You reap what you sow. He's obviously, you know, a polite, well-mannered young man to recognize that in the locals in Bangkok here at this Junior Grand Prix.
Wow. And that's amazing that he has, you know, tears of joy, but also respect and thanks for all the people here. That's a very kind person. Let's take a look at the free program scores. 139.51. That's like, oh, wow, for Haru. 209.50, and that puts him in first place by a lot. That's an emotional young man that came here to skate for himself, but gets the gift, not the gifts, he gets the reward of real brilliance. Beautiful.
Next to skate, representing China, Tonghe Tian.
And now to the man in 4th place. He may feel the pressure from what has just been delivered by the Japanese competitor, but can Tonghe Tian follow in the footsteps of his compatriot who won the women's event, Yihan Wang?
Well, 2 for 2 in regards to clean skates in the final group of the men's free skate, as Tonghe Tian from China is thrown a cuddly stuffy toy on by the winner of the women's event, Yihan Wang, and it just was such a box-ticking exercise of good quality elements interspersed with loads of speed.
Yeah, no question. This was a solid skate for this young man. Good technique and whatnot. Maybe he could, if you're going to compete at the very top, a little bit more refinement perhaps on the landings. Stretch the free leg, point of the toes. It's so good already, no question. But you're trying to go up against some of the best in the world. So how do you do that? You can just see, watch the landing as his toes turn in. You see how that toe is pointed down? It's such a small thing, but it's a big thing overall.
Well, it would definitely, as we see this next triple flip, if Tonghe was able, as we look at the loops now, to extend, turn it, and to sustain the position, it would give the judges the chance to give an extra bullet point on the grade of execution. And that, if he was to realize, well, if every single one of my jumps in this free skate got one extra +1 from the judges on every single one, you're adding a significant margin. And that's the detail and level of depth of sort of interrogation into the score that the top go to.
That's a very good point. Every small little detail, just the pointing of the toe, the stretch of the free leg, may add to the GOE, the quality of those landings, which is going to add up to 4 or 5 points, or 2, 3, 4, 5 points, whatever, that can totally make the difference. Given the fact that there's 2 skaters or 3 skaters of equal technical ability, and they produce. Small details can, and usually do, make the difference in the top skaters. Here we go. Free program score.
Tonghe Tian from China has earned
For Tonghe, 139.61. That is first in the free program. Total competition score 210.39. And that'll put Tong in first place. Kind of like ice dance. Next skater out takes over the lead. Next skater out takes over the lead.
Yeah.
But they're all earning it, so that's good.
Next to skate, representing Korea, Habin Choi.
Well, each new skater takes over the lead, but now we head to the top 3 placements after the short program. And they do not want to relinquish the points, the prize money, and the medal that they have found themselves in the position of, as Habin Choi, the 14-year-old born in Seoul, gets ready to start his free skate. Habin Choi, just 14 years of age, at his first major international event, the Junior Grand Prix, and his coach, when I saw her last week, Choi, had explained that he's talented, he's got quad salco, but she wasn't sure how he would cope, and managed obviously so successfully with the short program, but a free skate is a totally different animal, and you could see how he struggled to come to terms with the mistakes early on.
Yeah, there's the quad sow, under or downgraded, really. No, just under rotated and takes the fall to start the program. Now, how does he respond from that? Here's triple axel. Watch him lift off the ice, beautiful, up into the air. Gets that done nicely, and then up into a double axel. Great jump ability, explodes off the ice. Little less refinement.
Oh.
Yeah, he took a hard fall. Now he's behind the music. He has to get up. He has to chase that. You get behind, you're exhausted. Falling is such a difficult part of the program, not just because of the points you lose, but because it puts you behind and makes you rush, and you lose control of the program.
Yeah, and you could sense Habin Choi started to just skate from one end of the rink to the other to intersperse his elements. So the choreography that was done, I'm sure, was diluted because at that point, brain's just consumed with get the tech score accomplished.
Yeah, and interesting from a coaching perspective, you know that a 14-year-old young man with this much talent has to go through something like this, and you don't want it and you don't plan for it, but how do you help him get over this and learn from it? And so, well, what happened? What went wrong? Did you get upset? Where did that go? Right? So you have to pinpoint, if you can, because it's really hard to do that, pinpoint the moments or the items that really change your emotional and rational state of mind.
And this is where it's interesting to see what will happen, because there's so many Korean women on the Junior Grand Prix, less men, and what will happen now with Habin Choi. He's already got some of the technical content that is of senior level, because although we didn't see it, we know that he can do quad salco. But now, how does the skater then, or how does the coach impress upon the skater the importance of going back to basics, when for the boys, for the men, as a generalization, they could get so excited about jumping?
Well, it might be easier now, because it was not a great success, and so the young man might be more willing to say, okay, now what do I have to do? Because I know I can, but what do I have to do? Hopefully it's that way, because he's very talented. There's no question about that. 120.39, that is 5th in the free program, and that's going to take him out of contention. 194.42 is 4th in the competition so far. 2 skaters to come. And you look at the top 3 so far, with 2 of the top skaters in the event.
Next to skate,
And here we go.
representing Japan, Rio Nakata.
It's who we predicted as the favorite, but he's behind. He has the quads. He didn't have a good practice session today, but is he a competitor? Well, we'll see.
No, there's the takeoff for the salco that will be one of the quads that we hope to see from the last year's Junior Grand Prix final champion, Rio Nakata.
Well, certainly, Mark.
Well, Rio Nakata, difficult.
Go ahead.
Well, I was just thinking, he turned 16 last Sunday. He's had such success last year, and then since we saw him last year, he's performed in some amazing shows in Japan, Fantasy on Ice, Dream on Ice, with the likes of Yuzuru Hanyu, double Olympic champion, and I think he's improved a lot, perhaps from those experiences or just all the hard work he's done with his father as coach, but that was a tough skate.
Yeah, no question. He lost the cool a little bit in the practice session, I think, this morning, and couldn't find his comfort zone. And, you know, he had said to you, I think, or you read it somewhere, here's the quad sow, something about he wanted to win everything. And maybe doing that as opposed to focusing on the execution may, you know, could have taken him off his game.
Yeah, and I think maybe it's that's making me consider the reaction to this performance, because I know that he wants to win everything, and I believe that he's certainly more than capable. Actually, now on review of it, as we see the likes of that triple Lutz, triple toe, and we saw the triple axel or the triple salto, it wasn't really a bad skate, but something like that, a fall on a triple loop when we know he can do quad loop, seems like a relatively silly mistake. I mean, I say that, it's not like I'm going to bust out a triple loop anytime soon, but because we know that Rio is so good and he can quad loop, he'll be frustrated with that.
And how nice is that, his dad sort of consoling him, and, you know, you can see, but he's got to go through the same thing. I mentioned this is the third time what Ilya Malinin went through, and that is, you're so talented, you think you can just do it at any point, and you can't. You're going to make those failures, and these are teaching points that's going to make him great. He's not there yet, but he's on his way. 142.17 for the free pole, and that's first, of course, with a 218.71, and that puts Rio Nakata into first place. The question will be, is that enough to make up and take top spot over the young man from New Zealand? Quite a story. We'll find out in the next 5 minutes. There he is. He's had such a great year so far, Mark.
Yes, because we had an insight into this potential at the Cranberry Cup in Norwood, Massachusetts earlier in the summer. The short program was superb. And now Yanhao Li, the 16-year-old from New Zealand, will try to take the first title for himself and his nation on the Junior Grand Prix. Well, no wonder Yanhao Li reacts like that, because this is somewhat historic in the figure skating community, because Yanhao Li may have gone on to something that has not been done before and take gold for the first time for a New Zealander. And last year he took a bronze medal in this event, and that was mesmeric, and now he's added the triple axel and improved in so many other aspects as well.
But
an exciting and inspiring story.
You know, not only taking the first for New Zealand, but I think for himself, he feels like he's carrying the weight of a nation on his shoulders and wants to, you know, and he trains there. That's the whole thing. Like, that's a country that most people would have maybe moved and trained somewhere else, but he doesn't. He trains there. That is an attestment to what's happening in New Zealand at the rinks. Maybe not for all the skaters, but some of them. And he will inspire a new generation. There's a triple axel, double toe loop, good flow through the landings. Second triple axel. This was a little bit more of a problem. Had put the hand down. But he has very good spins, very good jump technique, good flow.
And this was on music. He waited for that difficult blade feature on the accent and the music. Oh, so much length.
Well, how tense we're waiting for the score to come up B.
Yeah, and we have to shout out to Bess Cow. She's coach, she's choreographer, she designed costume. She has been an integral part of the success of Yanhao Li, known as Dwayne, and I'm told from the New Zealand skating community she's very well respected.
Congratulations to Bess, because she's done an outstanding job, not just with this young man, but with many other skaters. The score, 146.84, that is first. He is the very first skater from New Zealand to win gold on the Junior Grand Prix. 230.09, that is amazing, and it will be an honor for me to interview him, having been born in New Zealand and seen him win this title. Wow, that was cool.
And he's so composed about it. He's just like, yep, expected it.
On the outside.
Part of the plan.
I'm not sure on the inside. There's a look at the final results. Yanhao Li, Rio Nakata, Tonghe Tian from China. So nice to see different flags at the top.
Yeah, it's so exciting and inspiring for not just New Zealanders, but also other skating nations with less previous history.
Absolutely. Well, we invite all of the viewers online to stay with the stream as the medals are presented. We will watch that, of course, and I want to thank all the volunteers here. It has been really a spectacular Junior Grand Prix. You can see the stands are full. We had the high school grade 11 students cheering and doing the dances, and there was never a dull moment in this rink, that's for sure. The skaters, the coaches, the parents who've made this trip, and the parents at home who watched their children perform on the world stage. It's just been quite remarkable. We thank Kathy Reed and Caitlin Osmond for joining us as remote commentators. That is a lot of fun. We hope to continue that. We thank you, the viewers, from wherever you're watching around the globe. For all of us here at the ISU, I'm Ted Bard along with Mark Hanreddy. Next week, we'll come to you from Ankara, Turkey. And don't miss that. We'll start on Thursday of next week. For all of us here at the ISU, thank you for watching. Good night, everyone.
silver medal from Japan, Rio Nakata. In first place, in winner of the gold medal from New Zealand, Yanhao Li. Please welcome the advisor to the Prime Minister of Thailand, Mr. Songkran Kitla. He will be awarding the medals. Please welcome the council member of the International Skating Union, Mrs. Suwanna Silata Asha. She will be awarding the flowers. Ladies and gentlemen, if you can, please stand for the national anthem of the winner. Ladies and gentlemen, these are your medalists! skaters. And now, the ISU Junior Grand Prix of Figure Skating, Bangkok 2024 Victory Ceremony for Junior Ice Dance. In third place, and winners of the bronze medal, from the United States of America, Eliana Peel and Ethan Peel! In second place, and winners of the silver medal, from the United States of America, Hannah Maria Ablon and Daniel Vesanukin! In first place, and winners of the gold medal, from Italy, Noemi Maria Cani and Noah Lapanara! Please welcome the council member of the International Skating Union, Mr. Tatsuro Matsumura. He will be awarding the medals. Figure and Speed Skating Association of Thailand, Mr. Sittichai Prasya Ratikul. He will be awarding the flowers. Ladies and gentlemen, if you can, please stand for the national anthem of the winner. Ladies and gentlemen, these are your medalists!
guess I fall.